One of the biggest questions every investor eventually asks is surprisingly simple. Should I invest in individual stocks, or should I buy ETFs? Depending on who you ask, you'll hear completely different answers. Some investors swear that picking great companies is the fastest path to building wealth. Others argue that trying to beat the market is a losing game, and that low-cost ETFs are the smarter choice. The truth is that this debate has been going on for decades, yet some of the world's most successful investors don't necessarily choose one over the other. Instead, many combine both approaches to build portfolios that balance growth, diversification, and long-term stability. The real question isn't which investment is universally better, it's which strategy best fits your financial goals, your risk tolerance, and the amount of time you're willing to dedicate to managing your investments. Today, we're going to explore why I personally invest in both individual stocks and ETFs, the strengths and weaknesses of each approach, and how combining them can create a more balanced investment strategy. Investing is often presented as an all-or-nothing decision. You're told to either become an expert stock picker or simply buy an index fund and forget about it. But investing doesn't have to be that black and white. Every investment serves a different purpose. Some provide stability, others provide growth. Some generate passive income through dividends, while others offer exposure to fast-growing industries and innovative companies. Over time, I realized that I didn't need to choose between ETFs and individual stocks. Instead, I could use each one for what it does best. In this video, I'll explain why I invest in both, how they complement each other, their advantages and disadvantages, and why diversification remains one of the most powerful principles in long-term investing. When I first started learning about investing, I believed there had to be one perfect strategy. I spent hours reading articles, watching interviews with legendary investors, and comparing the performance of different portfolios. Some experts insisted that carefully selecting individual companies was the only way to outperform the market. Others argued that buying low-cost index ETFs and holding them for decades consistently delivered better results for the vast majority of investors. The more I researched, the more I realized that both sides had compelling arguments. Instead of searching for a single correct answer, I began asking a different question. Why not use both? Understanding the difference between ETFs and individual stocks begins with understanding ownership. When you buy an individual stock, you're purchasing a small ownership stake in a specific company. If you buy shares of a technology company, for example, your investment rises or falls based largely on that company's performance, leadership decisions, earnings growth, competitive position, and future prospects. If the company performs exceptionally well, your returns can significantly outperform the broader market. However, if the business struggles, faces regulatory issues, loses market share, or experiences declining profits, your investment can also suffer considerably. ETFs, or exchange-traded funds, work differently. Instead of owning a single company, you own a basket of investments packaged into one fund. Depending on the ETF, that basket might include hundreds or even thousands of companies spread across multiple industries or countries. This diversification immediately reduces company-specific risk because the performance of one business has a much smaller effect on the overall investment. One of the biggest advantages of ETFs is simplicity. A single investment can provide exposure to an entire stock market, a specific sector, dividend-paying companies, emerging markets, government bonds, or even commodities. For investors who have limited time or prefer a passive approach, ETFs offer broad diversification with relatively low management costs. Many of the world's largest ETFs track indexes such as the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, FTSE All World, or MSCI World, allowing investors to participate in the long-term growth of global markets without needing to select individual winners. Individual stocks, however, offer opportunities that ETFs simply cannot. When you identify an outstanding company early in its growth journey, the potential returns can be extraordinary. History has shown that businesses like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, and many others rewarded long-term shareholders with remarkable gains. Owning exceptional businesses directly also provides a stronger emotional connection to the companies you research and believe in. For investors who enjoy analyzing financial statements, understanding industries, and following company developments, stock picking can be both intellectually rewarding and financially successful. The downside is that individual stocks require significantly more research. A diversified ETF automatically adjusts as companies enter or leave an index. Individual stock investors must continually evaluate whether each business still deserves a place in their portfolio. Earnings reports, competitive threats, management changes, technological disruption, geopolitical risks, and industry trends all become important factors. Success requires discipline, patience, and a willingness to admit mistakes when investment theses change. Risk management is another major consideration. Even great companies occasionally experience unexpected setbacks. Regulatory changes, product failures, economic downturns, lawsuits, cybersecurity incidents, or changes in consumer behavior can dramatically affect individual businesses. Because ETFs spread investments across many companies, these risks become diluted. This doesn't eliminate market risk, but it does reduce the likelihood that one poor-performing company will significantly damage an entire portfolio. Cost also plays an important role. Most index ETFs have extremely low expense ratios, making them attractive long-term investments. Individual stocks generally do not charge ongoing management fees, but investors may incur brokerage commissions, currency conversion costs, or taxes depending on where they invest. More importantly, active stock selection often requires far more time than passive ETF investing. Time itself has value, and every investor should consider how much of it they want to dedicate to researching companies. One reason I like combining both approaches is because they serve different purposes within my portfolio. ETFs provide the foundation. They give me diversified exposure to broad markets, reducing overall risk while benefiting from long-term global economic growth. Individual stocks allow me to express higher conviction ideas where I believe certain companies have exceptional long-term potential. In this way, my portfolio combines stability with opportunity rather than relying entirely on either one. This blended approach also offers psychological advantages. During periods when one individual stock underperforms, the diversified ETF portion of the portfolio often provides stability. Likewise, when a carefully selected company performs exceptionally well, it has the potential to enhance overall returns without exposing the entire portfolio to concentrated risk. Rather than viewing ETFs and stocks as competitors, I see them as complementary tools serving different objectives. Another lesson I've learned is that successful investing isn't about finding the highest possible return every year. It's about creating a strategy you can confidently stick with through bull markets, bear markets, recessions, and periods of uncertainty. Consistency often matters more than perfection. A portfolio abandoned during market volatility rarely achieves its long-term potential. Diversification also extends beyond simply owning multiple companies. Many investors choose ETFs covering different regions, sectors, or asset classes while selecting individual companies they know particularly well. Others use dividend-paying stocks alongside growth-oriented ETFs or combine domestic investments with international exposure. The exact mix depends on personal goals, risk tolerance, investment horizon, and financial circumstances. Ultimately, investing in both ETFs and individual stocks allows me to benefit from two powerful philosophies simultaneously. ETFs provide broad exposure, low costs, and simplicity. Individual stocks offer the possibility of above-average returns through careful research and conviction. Together, they create a portfolio that is diversified enough to reduce unnecessary risk while still providing opportunities for meaningful long-term growth. For me, it isn't about choosing sides. It's about using every available tool intelligently to build lasting wealth. Before investing, decide how much time you're realistically willing to spend managing your portfolio. If you prefer a hands-off approach, broad market ETFs may deserve a larger allocation. If you enjoy researching companies like me, consider limiting individual stock positions to businesses you genuinely understand and believe in over the long term. I diversify across industries, countries, and asset classes instead of concentrating my portfolio in one sector. I review my portfolio periodically, but I avoid making emotional decisions based on short-term market movements. Most importantly, I invest consistently. Long-term discipline often has a greater impact on wealth creation than trying to perfectly time the market. As you know, I am not a financial advisor. This is only my strategy in my personal journey to financial freedom, based on my knowledge and research, and I am sharing it with you as it could help somebody out there. Throughout 2026, ETFs continue attracting record levels of investor interest as low-cost passive investing remains one of the dominant trends in global financial markets. Broad market funds tracking indexes such as the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and FTSE All-World continue seeing strong inflows from both retail and institutional investors. Artificial intelligence remains one of the biggest investment themes of the year. Companies including NVIDIA, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta Platforms, Broadcom, and TSMC continue drawing investor attention due to ongoing AI infrastructure spending and enterprise adoption. At the same time, dividend-focused ETFs, infrastructure funds, healthcare ETFs, and quality factor investing have gained popularity as investors seek greater diversification beyond large technology companies. Financial experts continue emphasizing that long-term success depends less on choosing ETFs versus individual stocks and more on maintaining a disciplined investment strategy, controlling costs, diversifying appropriately, and remaining invested through different market cycles. There isn't one perfect investment. There is only the investment strategy that helps you stay consistent for decades. For me, that means owning both ETFs and individual stocks. ETFs provide diversification, simplicity, and stability. Individual stocks provide opportunity, conviction, and the potential for above-average returns. Together, they create a portfolio that reflects both confidence and caution. Because building wealth isn't about predicting every market move. It's about consistently making smart decisions over a lifetime. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more investing, ETF, stock market, and personal finance content. And let me know in the comments. Are you investing mostly in ETFs, individual stocks, or a combination of both? Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.